Hello all my brothers, welcome to the MLC. That is the Mr. Lemba channel. You know what time it is and you know what you gotta do. Grab something to drink, kick your feet back. It's time for the brothers to talk. It's time for the men to talk. It's time for the kings of our people to ponder, reason, and peel back the intellectual layers as we dissect the problem with the black woman. What could it be? Those who know me, I rarely criticize black women. Not because they don't deserve criticism, but simply because I believe in warning men about a bigger problem. The gynocentric Western societies that we live in, or those who have been influenced by this gynocentric feminist system, the destroyer of men. As many of our brothers walk into traps after traps, problems after problems regarding women in general, as this extreme, radical, feminist ideologies have infiltrated almost all of our women in these Western societies. But many of us black men, many of us brothers, who are actually all over the place as a community when we're talking about ideologies. Some of us believe we're just black men. Some of us believe we're just Africans. Some of us believe we were already here in the Americas when the settlers arrived. Some of us believe we are the Hotep brothers, the Kemet brothers. Some of us believe we are the children of Israel. Some of us just don't care. Some of us believe we are living in a music video. A rap music video, to be precise. A gangster rap music video. A very confused, a very divided, a very disorganized society. Disorganized community. But one thing we have in common is, as men, we seem to complain and bring, even more than complain, in analytical criticism. We bring a close analysis to the behaviors, character, and the ways of the black woman. Some brothers have went to the extreme. Some are in the middle. Some are just simps. But as a people, even if some of our black men say they do not date black women, we should not discard our women. Even if you're not in a relationship with them, they did come on this slave ship with us. And as the weaker sex, as the weaker vessel, hopefully you brothers have risen so far above simping where you realize a woman is not the equal of a male. She is the counterpart, but not the equal. Once you have realized her to be the weaker sex, the weaker vessel, the weaker mind, not to quote biblical scripture, but to state an obvious fact that everyone with a basic brain can figure out. Everyone outside the feminist statistics, that is. We have to sympathize a little and remember her. So what happened to our black women? One of the most, and in my opinion, the most beautiful woman on the planet. Exterior is the context in which I speak. Because when we talk about the interior character of the black woman, many times she is not very beautiful, to say the least. So what happened? Some point fingers to slavery. Some point fingers to segregation. Some point fingers at racism. Some point fingers at the white man in general. Others point fingers at feminism. Some point fingers at the parents teaching their daughters not to depend on no man, when marriage is an interdependent thing, with the feminine in large depending upon the masculine for many things, especially leadership. Some point fingers at our social structure and how it has destroyed the male and kicked him out of the house, out of the home, broke the male away from the family, leaving the family surrounded by feminine energy. Today we are going to dissect the problem of the black woman. And it may not be done in just this video. I am going to keep this video as short as I can, as I know my brothers are very busy men. Because only the most classic of men listen to this channel. Responsible men, righteous men, introspective men. So I do not want to take too much of your time, my brothers. But as I dissect on this operation table, as we perform this psychological surgery on the black woman, we come across many problems. We come across whoredom when she is young. We come across getting pregnant by the worst men. We come across attitudes. We come across disrespect. We come across a lack of nurturing. We come across mothers who use profanity on their 3-year-old children, on their 5-year-old. Women who allow men to come to their home and have sex with them, and they are so loud doing intercourse that their 13-year-old daughter have to hear what's going on in the room next door. Women who smoke and have profanity tattooed on their bodies so their children can see. Women who purposely push good men out of their lives and claim to be the victims. Women who falsely accuse their men of doing harm to them just to bring in the gynocentric injustice system, we should call it, into their homes so they may take this righteous brother away. As we dissect the psychology of the black woman, we find various problems, and many times very little solutions. So brothers become frustrated. Brothers become angry. Then brothers calm down. They sit our women down and they talk to them kindly. And then brothers get upset as they refuse to take the advice. And then brothers go on rants. Brothers go on YouTube. Brothers criticize. Some brothers bash. And other brothers completely give up. The women we were chained to on the slave ships, the ones we took comfort in, we have now let go of. What happened? Many of our brothers complain about the ratchetness, the ghetto, the loud mouth, the in your face, the toe to toe. Those are very negative descriptions regarding our sisters. But the sad part is they are accurate descriptions regarding most of our sisters. Now, is the white woman innocent? Absolutely not. Those who follow my channel understand that I criticize every race of woman because I warn men about the things that women do in general, regardless of race. But in the black community, when it comes to the black woman, the problems are amplified. The problems have been made larger as the black woman takes after her race, a race of people who amplify things wherever they go. You let black people take hold of your dancing, and they shall amplify your dancing. Your dance culture shall be revolutionized. You take black people and you add them to your music, and your music is now amplified. There is something about black people that increases things in volume. So whatever you give them, they make it greater. They are the salt of the earth. Not to sound like I'm quoting a biblical scripture, they bring flavor to things of this planet. You let black people get a hold of food, and the spices drastically change. The flavor of the food becomes explosive. You give violence to black people, and they amplify it. You give profanity to black people, and they amplify it. Unfortunately, we as a people also amplify the negatives. Yes, we can argue all these things are found in other races, but we cannot deny that we amplify these things. Are there ratchet white girls? Absolutely yes. Are there loud white girls? Absolutely yes. White girls who get in your face, white girls who go toe to toe? Absolutely yes. MGTOW was created in a large sense because of white women. Most of these MGTOW or MGTOW white men are not complaining about sisters. They're not out there complaining and saying do not get married, it's a trap. They're not calling these hoes and these blood-sucking women that they're talking about. They're not talking about black women. So the white woman is clearly not innocent. But we can find with the black woman, it happens more frequently that the black man is facing some of these gynocentric, feminist, family destroying behaviors. The black man oftentimes finds himself in a corner of his home, pondering as if he was a stranger in his own skin, wondering when is that loudmouth, angry, in your face woman will cut that corner and attack him. Well, everything I just described is a negative aspect of masculine behavior. The problem that I'm finding that is the major umbrella problem, where every other problem comes from regarding the black woman, is that she lacks feminine energy. She lacks femininity. The black woman is lacking her nature. She was stripped of it through time. And many things are responsible. And it would take a long time. Which is why I said this video may not cover it all in depth, but I will surely shed some light. When our brothers are looking at our sisters. When a sister is toe-to-toe, she is showing that she is masculine, because the masculine energy and the masculine emotions are external in a way that is aggressive but yet controlled. But what happens when the feminine energy takes over, she no longer behaves in an internal manner. She becomes external but not controlled. And you have what we have today. We can point fingers at the parents that told them to be independent of men, especially black men. And many black men have done this to their daughters too, not just the black mothers. Told their daughters not to depend on men. And what they created was the strong, independent black woman. Though she looks sexy on the outside, when we as her men look at her, we are seeing something very similar to the picture you have on your screen. A woman that is too independent, too strong. A woman who is always trying to take the leadership role. And when she is confronted about it, instead of being the feminine and become intuitive and become reserved and go into feeling what the man is saying, as women do that best. And it's not always a bad thing. She instead argues and fights because she is always and constantly bringing forward the masculine force. The masculine force is external energy. It is the yang of the yin. It is the yang of the yin and yang. The masculine energy is an external energy. Number two, it is a dominating energy. It is an initiating energy. It is compared to the day. It is an active energy. It is compared to the sun. It is a logical energy. It is compared to being hot. It is a hard, rigid, or solid energy. The feminine energy is an internal energy. It is a yielding energy that gives way to the masculine energy. But my brothers, how many of us can say this about ourselves, about our sisters being yielding? It is a nurturing energy. But how many of us can say our sisters really care to nurture their husbands and sometimes their children? It is compared to the night. It is considered a passive energy. How many of our women are passive? It is compared to the moon. It is given the attribute of being intuitive. It is compared to the cold and to the soft. Can we really give these traits to our women? Can we? The black woman is lacking feminine energy. If we want to agree with those who talk about slavery and racism, though I don't believe that is the sole cause, however, to an extent, it is to be examined. It is to be brought on the operating table and to be dissected. Slavery. Yes, the black woman had to be independent of her men. Yes, the black woman had to defend herself, sometimes even from her man. So yes, Absolutely. That diminished some of the feminine nature of the black woman. The woman is like the subconscious. She picks up things without even realizing she is picking up things. Meaning habits, meaning behaviors. That is why you can have a great wife, and the minute you start hanging out with a bad homegirl, you start seeing that you're getting a bad wife. Women are open up to suggestions, and they're opened up to persuasion. Because as they are intuitive, they pick up on the person who is speaking to them, and they captivate that person's feelings. And many times, since they're not trained to properly handle that, they mimic that person's feelings. And if that person's feelings are negative, she picks up negative energy. So, during slavery, yes, the black woman was not very attached to her men. Her children were ripped from her. So some of her nurturing had to be for white children, children that were not her own. But let's fast forward. After slavery has been abolished, the black woman behaved as a good woman. Because as you know, black people love to copy what white people do, even if it does not fit them or their culture. Now, I'm not saying certain things that white people do are not good. But what I'm saying is black people like to follow what white people do regardless. That is why you can find a black man participating in a holiday that oppressed him, simply because white people celebrate such holiday. But the black woman was not that tarnished by slavery, as she copied and mimicked what the white family was doing. And at that time, the white woman was a real woman, and the white family was a real family, where the white men were not worried about prenups, losing half of their stuff, where the white men were not worried that she would cheat on them, that she would hit him and beat him, not cook for him, and not clean the house, and tells him that he needs to do it. At that time, the white man was not subjugated by feminism. The white man's society was not matriarchal. The white man's society was not gynocentric. So as black people constructed their family after the white family, we saw that there were many progress in the black family, both financially, spiritually, and very importantly, in the sense of family. Children were children. Daughters married virgins. Or should I say the sons married virgins and daughters married as virgins. The sons were responsible. They were dressed respectably. The fathers were men, and that was uncompromising. The women were women, and everyone accepted and embraced their place. But as feminism rise, now let's go into feminism, the white family became fragmented. Feminism used the black woman as pawns to help push their movement, increase numbers, and cried for this freedom from men. Most of it involved women being able to work, something that black men at that time would have never complained about if their woman wanted to bring in additional money. It was something that the white man was keeping under control, because the white man foreseen that this would cause a serious problem in the order of the sexes. As feminism took place, the black family also fell apart, but in an amplified way, fell apart quicker and in larger numbers. As TV shows in social aid that help provide finances, food, and shelter replace the masculine's role, as the masculine is the provider. The society became the provider to the women. One, allowing the women to provide for themselves. Two, providing for the women. And two, being the protectors of the women. When that happened, the masculine energy was pushed away from the home. Talk shows were put in place to change the mindset of the women, making them more inclined to being disobedient, telling them that they were empowered by behaving in the masculine. And as I told you brothers before, in black people everything is amplified. They bring extra flavor to everything, and unfortunately that also means they bring extra flavor and they amplify bad things also. And one of those bad things were the fragmenting of the white family. When the black family amplified that, it broke down even faster. The black woman was a blind feminist. She went so far, not realizing that the system in which she lives in does not necessarily support the black man or the black woman. So she did not realize how she needed the support and the presence of her man more than any other race of woman. And since she is the weaker vessel, the more illogical vessel, she is more intuitive, and without a man to guide her intuition, she feels everything everyone is feeling. One minute she wants a man. The next minute she wants to be independent and on her own. One minute she wants to be married. The next minute she wants a relationship with no strings attached. One minute she wants a father. The next minute she's pushing him out of the way. A woman's intuition was designed because it is the feminine, designed by the Creator to help a man with intuition. And the man was supposed to take that intuition and lead it with his logic. The two working together, the feminine and the masculine, the perfect polarization, bringing these two magnets together to create something new. Like when they come together, they bring forth life. That is a little bit of the metaphysical explanation. That is a little bit of the occult explanation. When you're understanding the roles of the energy. What happened is the black woman stepped into the skin of the black man. And the black mothers have emasculated their sons and made them feminine. As a result, the roles are not balanced. The black women have a hard time being a nurturer because a nurturer is a feminine trait and she is not operating in the feminine. A black woman has a hard time to yield to you as a black man because she has been stripped of her feminine nature, and yielding is a feminine thing. To yield to the external force, which is the masculine. She cannot internalize her feelings and her force to sense what you are saying and try to reserve it for later when you are calm. So she may talk to you, her leader. She may talk to you as her king and reason it out, with your reason being the primary guide that leads that relationship, so that she may follow and not fall into situations where she's screwing up her life and her children's life. Because that is a feminine thing. So she operates in the masculine. She is external. So instead she gets in your face. She points a finger at your face. She pokes your head. She pops her neck. And that is because she does not understand the masculine energy. She does not understand her feminine energy. She cannot conjure it. She cannot harvest it. She cannot show it because she lacks it. Everything that is wrong with the black woman, everything that the black man complain about, everything that the black man talk about when they're not complaining and just being logical men, when they are being analytical, when they are sitting together as men and analyzing the issue with the black woman, what they are finding, their findings, their social experiences are showing them collectively that the black woman is missing her feminine nature. She does not understand that the male, when he is upset, when the male sets forth a rule as the leader, she cannot step in his way and block his road. He is like a raging river, and he will take her away into her destruction. So she goes head on, and she thinks she has beaten him because the system, which also tries to go against nature, which tries to put the feminine into the masculine, this gynocentric system, which tries to reverse the roles and subdue the leader, which is the male, which is the masculine, they try to support her. And meanwhile, they may take away all the rocks and all the boulders that are in the river. They may take away all the animals that are in the river. This is the metaphor for the man's finances. This is the metaphor for the man's house. This is the metaphor for the man's children. But the masculine remains the masculine, and there is a price to pay when you tamper with a force of nature. And the masculine energy is a very real force of nature. So is the feminine. She thinks she won. She tried to break you. But then she realizes without the masculine energy, the children are lacking something. Daughters are more likely to become whores, and sons more likely to end up in jail. She is more likely to be impatient towards her children, to age faster, and to fall deeper into whoredom herself as the mother. Or should I say, which is the mother. She becomes taxed. She becomes fatigued. She is doing too much as she's trying to be the masculine and the feminine. Her lifespan is shortened. Why? Because that is the price you pay for messing with a force of nature. Anyone who understands rivers know you must first wait for that river to calm down before you cross it. You don't cross a river when it's raging like the picture you are viewing on your screen. But our black women do not know this. So instead, they rage the river even more. They go and they break the dams. They ask for it. They dig their own holes. And then they keep falling deeper into that ditch. It is sad. What happened to our black woman? She forgot how to calm the river, the external energy of the masculine. Because as I said to you brothers before, the yin of the yang, the feminine energy, is the calming energy. She may shed light like the moon, because I told you guys she's been attributed to the moon. But have you ever felt the rays of the moon? No. The moon deals with emotions. She's attributed to the night. She is that cool breeze. She is that calm presence. When the male is too aggressive, as he is the external force, when he is too ambitious, let's say he's investing too big of a chunk, she may come with her intuition, because sometimes she feels something about the person that you're doing business with that as a man we do not feel. Where our logic do not reach, her emotions do. Because the Creator made it that way. And our job is not just to follow her emotions. No, that would be wrong, and that would not be the proper order of things. Our job is to actually be that external force. After we sit and we talk to our woman, we go ahead and we take that intuitive nature. We take her feelings after we have analyzed it with our logic, as we are the logical, which is the counterpart of the intuition. And we make it work together because we lead that intuition logically. And we take what she brought to the table and we become its leader. We become its head, as we are always the head. Something that most of our black women do not understand. The black woman operates in the negative. While we are dissecting what is wrong with the black woman. Not a rant, not hate, not calling them thoughts or whores, but really dissecting, going into the energy, into the nature, and seeing how social constructs and things that have been put in place, like certain social institutions, movements like feminism, historical traumas, while we are putting all of these variables together, we are going into surgery. Why is she not nurturing? Why is the black woman not submissive? Because one minute she's one way, the next minute she's another, and we have a hard time figuring out exactly how to pinpoint the issues as men. That's why I call them variables. But we know deep down that something is wrong. We know deep down that something is not right and something should not be this way. And when we cannot sense the feminine energy and we're sensing more masculine, we become turned off. We become repelled as two positive sides of a magnet, or two negative sides. We're looking for one negative, for one positive. The woman is the receiver, that is the feminine. And the man is the one who delivers, who pours into, because we are external. You understand? We pour into the feminine. If you guys would like me to make a more in-depth video regarding this topic, go ahead and just type the number 1 and post it, or just tell me straight up, brother, drop more. Drop another video, explain more, get deeper into it. This is very important. And this defeminizing, if that's a word, that we are experiencing in our Western societies is not just the black woman. It is also other races of women, even those who are not living in the Western world, who have been influenced by Western culture. But since we are talking about our community and we are in deep thought, we are on this operating table, and we, the introspective males, the thinking brothers, the classic men, the men amongst men, the true kings of the masculine. We cannot just say, let us abandon the black woman. Now, I am not telling you to deliver yourself into her arms of doom, which most of the time she brings. I'm not telling you to walk into her baby mama, baby daddy, child support, spousal support, take everything you have, verbal abuse, physical abuse, obtain nature, adopted nature that she has picked up, as it is not her natural nature. I'm not telling you to walk into that, but we can at least ponder about the issues, if not for us, for the sake of our children, because no matter how mixed your kids are, no matter how white your woman is and how mixed your children are, they may still bring home a black person. They may still be viewed as a black person by society. Their blackness they could never run away from. And unfortunately, that negative comes with it. So what happened to our sisters? The main problem we are finding as we go into surgery is that she is not feminine. Her feminine energy is gone. She is feminine on the exterior. She may look feminine. Some have gone so far they're starting to look rough on the exterior. But even when she looks feminine on the exterior, the moment she opens her mouth, it is nothing like a woman. She speaks with the roar of a black man, like the roar of a lion. Some even develop the bass in their voice. She's talking to you. You're talking to your woman. And you could have sworn you were talking to Mr. Lemba. This is not right. And we must think of proper solutions. Because the black couple is depolarized like a magnet. The black female is operating within the masculine. And since the family is raised by the black female, her masculinity emasculates her sons, bringing another problem to the equation, where we have the effeminate and the emasculated black male. One of the reasons why we have so many simps. Simps that keep rewarding bad women. And as a result, women have no incentives to behave the proper way. My brothers, I can't keep this video going too much longer. I mean, some brothers on YouTube go over an hour, but these brothers have been on there a little longer, and their followers might just be a bit more inclined to stick around. But you guys are still getting to know a little bit more of myself. So I'm not going to take too much of your time, as I already took many of it. But if you like more, if you want to know more about the metaphysics of the sexes, if you want to know more of the occultic type knowledge, let me know. I'm Mr. Lemba. I'm here for you. A brother indeed. Peace.